Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Sports TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon, makers of the Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect model for premium sound with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They are the ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit RayconGlobal.com. That's RayconGlobal.com and elevate your listening experience. We here at BVO Sports TV would like to thank the sponsor of today's podcast, Prize Picks. Pick, predict, play. It's that simple. A huge thank you to Prize Picks for supporting BVO Sports TV and the Doghouse community. Thanks again to Prize Picks.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy BVO Sports TV. We in the house. We back. And I'm in here with one of my favorite people, man. One of the most country brothers you'll ever meet, man. But does a great job. So much so it inspired me. I said, I got to do a show with this guy, man. What's going on, Trillo? How you feeling, man?
Hey, what's happening, BVO? What's good, Brody?
So, hold on one second. So I wanted to have a different conversation, man, because I watch your show. I'm a big fan of some of the things, how you do your thing. But before we get started, I wanted to ask you a very simple question. What do you think is going on with the Black family unit in America?
Okay. What's happening is the Black family nucleus is finally figuring out that all the propaganda that's been told to us as Black Americans is a whole crock of lies and a whole bunch of propaganda. For instance, we've been told for the longest, all right, Black men do not take care of their kids. Okay, cool. They say
Right.
that. Statistically, though, Black men are the most involved in their kids' lives. 85% of Black men who father kids in America take care of their children past college. That's something that I didn't know before starting to do more political content, doing more research and deep dives and learning real sources and methods and learning real sources and statistics and data. And that turned me into the monster that I am now. I want to salute everybody in the building. Thank y'all for dropping in, man. Hit that like button, man. Make sure if you're not subscribed to my brother BVO, subscribe to him, yo.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, dog. I'm sorry.
No, because to my brother, I got my brother Insane here 1 second. So I'm trying to get everything together. You know, whenever you about to start the show, that's when everything go haphazard. But I'm saying that, man, because, you know, one of the things I can say for me, as I've learned more and more about politics, I guess I have a hard time being a Black heterosexual man, finding my place in today's Democratic Party. What would you say about that?
See, I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent.
Right.
Reason being is because you're seeing the reason in real time with Jasmine Crockett. The same propaganda they used against Kamala Harris, they're using against Jasmine Crockett. And the shame is Black women have literally laid the pave work or the groundwork for women in general to have rights, women in general to be able to sign contracts and leases in their name, that open up credit card contracts, the whole nine. The whole suffrage movement was stolen away from 5 Black women. I covered it on my show today.
Right.
That movement was centered around Susan B. Anthony, which is false. Black women started that. But you know, that's kind of the stuff like the worst thing that I've heard. One of the worst stereotypes I've heard about black people is they say if you don't want black people to find out about something, put it in a book.
Right.
And in me doing politics, I've learned to read a lot more. I've learned to intake a lot of data, a lot of information, because I've listened to conversations with my relatives. I've listened to conversation with my own father, with my brothers and my sisters. I've listened to conversations, they're misinformed. And so that's the reason why I do what I do now, because I want to teach as many people who are willing to learn.
Yeah, and I'll say that because I mean, the reason I brought up the Democratic Party is because traditionally in America, ever since around the late '60s, you've seen black people kind of flock to the party. And I guess the thing that I'm hearing more and more from black men, especially young black men that are doing the thing, trying to have families, is they're trying to find strength. And when I say strength, they're trying to get away from the matriarchy and get back to the patriarchy, where we got young men doing it. Because I do understand people like my grandmother, they did a lot, but their husbands were more involved.
Right.
And the thing that gets me is when you look at like this is a crazy stat for us, only 30% of black men and women are married today, compared to you had it almost at 98%, which sounds crazy. It's like you made that up, but that was just in 1965. And I look at that, and then when you hear the people that's speaking, they speaking about stuff I think that's important. But I guess the whole key is, how does that fit the black man in America as far as finding his way for someone who's coming up trying to learn where they fit? What would you say to that?
Right. That's a very, very good point. One thing you could figure out is you have to cut through all the noise. Like I'll give you an example. Case in example, they say that black men more than likely are going to marry outside of their race.
Right.
That's what you heard. Everybody's heard that stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
That stereotype could be more false than Donald Trump telling the truth. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, but I understand the Democratic platform, and the problem I've always said with the Democratic platform is messaging. You don't see any of those prolific Democrats outside of people like Jasmine Crockett who are cutting through the noise and dropping real knowledge and real facts when it comes to black families, the black family nucleus and the whole nine like that. Like the way you get black men back in the way, because off YouTube, I mentor young black men. And I take pride in that. Reason being is because young black men are misinformed. Young black men are misinformed at thinking that fast money is good money.
Right.
Young black men are misinformed at thinking the treating and disrespecting of black women is the way to go. You have to denigrate and desecrate the name of a black woman, call her down bees and hoes and all this stuff. You have to do all of that stuff to make yourself feel like a man. That's what's being projected in propaganda when you see media. Every time you watch a movie with black men in it, you see black men disrespectful to black women, call them out their name, the whole nine. This is what they've been doing for generations. That's the reason why the world sees black men in America the way they see the world, see the black men in the world. You see what I'm saying? They see black men as violent, as hypersexual, as low IQ, all these different stereotypes and lies they keep propagating to black men in general. And it makes it a lot harder for black men, I mean, especially in today's time, to even figure out what their place is actually. That's why you got to have a whole bunch of people like myself, like Drew Titan, like 78, who constantly drop game and drop knowledge and puts you back up, give you a perspective using statistics and data to show you, hey, black king, we're supposed to be kings here. Propaganda is not going to work anymore. And people are more and more every day waking up to it.
Yeah, so my brother, I'm about to bring my brother in saying that, but I'll say this. But the thing I think that happens is this, and I could be wrong, because that's why I don't get a chance to have these conversations. But I think the thing that happens a lot is when you are a black man, you're looking for shows of strength. And when you see what Barack Obama does, as far as constantly almost feel like he undermines black men, where he was waving his finger saying, hey, and I knew what he meant, but it still wasn't good messaging, like you just said. When he was waving his finger saying, voting for, Donald Trump, that doesn't show you that you're masculine. I think the thing that people were trying to say was, which, you know, I understand because of two-party system, but
Right.
I think the thing is this: you don't want to vote for somebody who really, and a lot of the stuff they said about Kamala Harris was false. Like a lot of stuff about her gelling blacks, all that stuff was false.
I know.
That's not what she did. Was she tough on crime? Absolutely, but not nearly in the way that they tried to portray her as. But what I'm saying is, when you see her say things coming from a high-minded standpoint, same thing when you look at Kamala Harris. People don't realize, how can Obama say what he's saying when we seen Kamala Harris be betrayed right before our eyes? People don't realize that Joe Biden didn't want to step aside.
Nope.
He was forced to. And when we say that, you say, man, how can I find a show of strength if every leader that's controlling something that means something to me tells me how I'm being is wrong and how I'm being is not okay? But you see a brash, tough-talking white guy in Trump who gives people that illusion of strength and what I would call that strong man of strength. Right. And I think most people kind of flock to that because I'll be honest with you, man. You know how many times we hear, I hear young black men say, hey, I don't care about the homosexual problem. I care about having a job and taking care of my family. Right. And I think sometimes so many things get convoluted because even with Jasmine Crockett, she talks so much about, you know, homosexual rights and stuff like that. If I'm a voter, I don't want to hear that. I'm just being honest. Because a lot of us, let's just be totally honest, were raised by our grandparents. So we come in with some semblance of what you would call a conservative mindset. I'm not talking about the niggas. I'm talking about most common good black folks. We don't want to be part of the riffraff. As my grandfather used to call it, we're not part of the clown show. Right. And I think so many times I want you to speak to this. Why does it seem like the clown show is so involved behind us, and as black men and women, well, we're not a part of this. You're not a part of this. And I have nothing against the LGBTQ community in any way. I'm just saying that's the feeling where their rights feel more important than ours. What would you say to that, Will?
You know what? For a while, I felt like that until I actually started studying. It's like I said, research over me search. When I started studying and looking into politics, because I kind of felt the messaging, I understood the premise behind what Barack Obama was saying. I understood the gravity of why he was saying it. And that's one of the conversations that I've yet to hear anybody who says that, I've yet to hear them say. I've never heard them talk about the gravity, because look what we have now. We have a whole fascist in the White House, a man devoid of any soul, any personality, any kind of empathy, anything that has to do with a human life. He doesn't care about no one at all. Right. So I kind of understand why Barack Obama was taking the stance he was at the same time. But at the same time, you never hear this sort of critique about the men on the right, those white racist men, right, who use stereotypes, who use the tropes and the raccoons, the buck dancers, all of them. Because you got to remember this: the first thing what I used to say all the time, Barack Obama care more about gay people. You got to understand, Barack Obama was the president of the United States of America. He wasn't the president of black people. He couldn't have did that for black people if he wanted to, because you got to look at who was in Congress when he was in office. The first 2 years, he was fixing the economy that George Bush wrecked, because he sent us into 2 wars that cost trillions of dollars. But no one talks about that. They always look to tear that man down. They look to tear him down. The man literally built the infrastructure for healthcare. The reason why we can't have a universal system of healthcare in this country is because of racism. The reason why they're talking more about gay rights than they are black rights is because of racism. Racism is the sole construct behind everything that's ailing black people to this day. And I can prove it with statistics and data. That's what they do. This is who they are. The Democratic Party of the day is running on fumes now, because the progressives, the ones who think like I do, are now taking the seats. That's the reason why you didn't hear not a one of these prolific, so-called powerful Democrats get behind somebody like Zohran Mamdani, who won New York by a landslide. He beat Andrew Cuomo, who is a corporate Democrat / corporate Republican. The man switches parties like he switches suits. Because you got to remember, it goes back to 1964. It goes back to the passage of the Civil Rights Bill. Because you got to remember, the reason why black people are so conservative is because we've always voted conservative. We were the Republican Party all the way up to 1964. We were. And it was until they passed the Civil Rights Act and these racists seen black people getting, even though the policies that Lyndon B. Johnson, that Roosevelt, that all these FDR, everybody that were passing, even though they had racial constructs in those policies, black people were still able to use them. And black people were building successful communities, and white people did not want that. Racist white people did not want that. It's the same play now. That's the reason why people felt the type of way about what Barack Obama was saying. That's the reason why that's why you hear the Negroes who don't know nothing about politics. That's the only thing they can go back to. They can't talk about Barack Obama's policies. They can't talk about his infrastructure. They can't talk about none of the money that he added to HBCUs. They can't talk about none of the stuff he added to the black community as well as everybody else, because he's the president of the United States. He's good. It was no way he could do just stuff strictly for black people. It would have got ran to the Supreme Court and shut down because of racial bias. Why? Because the Supreme Court was built on racism, dog.
Or what about Robert Emanuel, who people forget about Robert Emanuel, chief of staff, who purposely put out a lot of BS. You know, and I feel like, to me, because I look at Obama as two different things. I don't know if people are familiar with Van Jones.
Yep.
Van Jones is
fell out, cooking and jiving, butt dancing.
Can I get in for a second, BVO?
Go on. Let me just play this one thing for my boy Will.
This is a sick Negro.
Go ahead.
Salute to my brother Trill Will. You know what I'm saying?
What's up,
LBBC. Salute to my brother BVO. I do know Van Jones, and every 4 years, Van Jones goes on MSNBCs and cries.
Exactly.
I do know Van Jones, but let me tell y'all, this conversation is a beautiful conversation. And I'm gonna sit back and listen and get my input when I can. But the way y'all cooking, man, y'all cooking. I'm not no dummy. I understand what y'all saying. I just like to hear the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It make me feel good to hear this type of conversation, because you don't hear this on YouTube a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when my voice is needed, then I say something. So I'm gonna just sit back and just, you know what I'm saying, enjoy.
Hey, I'll tell you this, man. My boy Trill Will, man. That brother
I'm gonna give it to you raw, bro. I'm gonna give it to you raw.
Oh my God!
I ain't got time to call to nobody, bro. For real, I gotta give it to you. And you don't know why?
Get your hand out of my pocket.
Yeah, get your hand out of my pocket, nigga.
Trill Will and Freedom's March together is, man, like, talking about, that's a combination for you right there, bro.
But
them guys be cooking.
I'm gonna say this, and you know, my homeboy said that I was wrong for thinking like this, but I give Trump credit for what he did with the criminal justice bill, as far as making it easier for felons to get these jobs that they couldn't get before. I get it's gonna help his buddies who coming out of jail.
You thinking the wrong person.
But go ahead.
You thinking the wrong person, big dog. You should be thanking Barack Obama for that.
Why you say that?
Look at the First Step Act. Look what when it was first enshrined under Barack Obama. Trump took credit for it. Just like he took credit
from 2012, right?
Yep. He took credit for it. Him and Kim Kardashian pranced around, but then here we go again. You got to listen. Donald Trump is a double talker. My daddy always told me a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. While Donald Trump presented that First Step Act, he was going to his Attorney General Bill Barr saying to keep them in jail. Yeah. Google.
So, I know what you're talking about, because I've seen Trump kind of switch that veterans bill that Obama did in 2011 and try to make it seem like it was his own.
Yes, he's doing the same thing right now. The stuff that Joe Biden did with the American Rescue Act and what was the
infrastructure,
the infrastructure bill that he passed. Now Joe Biden had got all kind of contracts. Like, for instance, that battery plant down in Georgia. That was because of Joe Biden. Who took credit for it?
You know, whoever finished the job usually takes credit for it, because I say this, and what would you say to people who say stuff like this about Trump? Trump and Joe Biden, the oldest presidents we ever seen, have done more for us in our lifetime than we ever seen done before. What would you say to people that say that?
Negative. No.
I would say Bill Clinton.
Where are the receipts? Show
Bill
me the
Clinton is
receipts.
evil, man.
Show me the receipts. Show me the receipts.
Can I say
Neither one of them, like Trump has been more in his first term.
Mm-hmm.
It was detrimental to the black community. He cut funding to the HBCUs. Did that. The Congressional Black Caucus has to force him to fund it. There was no funding for HBCUs under Trump the first time he was in office. A lot of people don't know that, but I do, because I do research. That's why I'm telling you, when black people
Isn't that why he gave him that 10? Is that why he gave him that 10 years worth of money after that? After Maxine Waters pushed that?
Nope, because Joe Biden came right behind him and gave one of the highest incentives to HBCUs in the history of America. Now, Joe Biden has done some bullshit. I ain't even gonna hold you. He's done a lot. Signed the 92 crime bill, but that bill was advocated by the NAACP and the Black Congressional Caucus. So there's more people that y'all need to be mad at, but just Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the one that gets thrown in front of the bus, though. But I'm smarter than that. I'm not going to allow nobody to just make one person. Like, he was the only signature that mattered on that bill. Everybody else signed it too, right?
But our grandparents asked for that bill.
If we're going to be fair, we got to be fair. I want to be fair down the board. I'm gonna call a spade, because you know what? The only thing since here recently that Joe Biden's ever said or done that could be quote unquote you can consider it racist is when he came behind when Trump said some goofy shit and he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's the only thing I can think of. Outside of that, policy wise, he's done everything he can to make and strengthen the black community. Go look at his policies. It's not my word. It's policy. I don't care about what you say. I care about what you do. What you do defines who you are. Yep.
Can I ask you this?
Yep.
This is how I feel, and I told my homeboy this before. I said maybe we don't need one of these billionaire, millionaire presidents. Maybe we need a president that makes minimum wage. Maybe we need a president that actually gets on the subway to get to work. Maybe we need somebody closer to what's going on in the middle class and the poor than just directly coming from the rich, because I think that we lost connection. Once you're dealing with the rich, they lost connection with the middle class and the poor. Now, I'm upper middle class in the way I live, and I understand my income as well is upper middle class. But the thing is, we know that the middle class is crashing and the middle class is actually keeping America going. But shouldn't we have a president within middle class or poor, you know what I'm saying, to fix the economy and what's going on in the economy? How do we fix a broken system and a broken economy? Like, how do we do that with the presidents that we have?
I was waiting for this.
That's a loaded question, though, bro.
I like that question, though.
That's a smart man right there. That's a smart Negro.
Here we go. This is how you fix it. Insane is right. We need a president that represents the people, for the people, by the people. The problem with politics now is Reaganomics, people like Trump. Trump has never had to work for nothing in a day of his life. All he's been is a professional scammer. That's all he's been doing. Scamming. Donald Trump ain't ran one business yet. You can't name one business Donald Trump has ever opened and started on his own that was profitable or successful. You can't name one. But they give him the title of successful businessman. He wrote he had a ghostwriter write the art of the deal that depicted him as some successful real estate developer and businessman, when this man lost $898 million by the time that book was dropped. A lot of people don't know that. There's a book called The Lucky Loser. Donald Trump failed upwards. Donald Trump hustled his own family out of his father's inheritance. $418 million. Donald Trump told the American people, he told you, Insane, he told me and BVO, and then my daddy gave me a small loan of $1 million. When did your daddy ever gave you a small loan of $1 million? Never. Nobody in this chat, nobody who watches this video has ever got a small loan for $1 million. So what the hell can a billionaire tell you about struggle? That's one of the primary reasons why I got behind Kamala Harris, because I understood and I know her record and I know what kind of policy she was putting down when she was a senator. Like, you have to go to congress.gov and look at HR numbers of the people who's running to represent all of us And you see what type of policies they were putting down while they was in particular seats. J.D. Vance, there's none available. That man was only in the Senate for about a year and a half before he became the vice president.
He's a grifter too.
Yeah, a grifter. He changed up just like Trump. That man's name ain't even J.D. Vance. It's James David Bowman. There's everybody in this administration are a bunch of frauds. Everyone. Cash Patel's a cockeyed fraud. He want to be a white man so bad. I'll see you in Valhalla, brother. They're not gonna allow your stand nigga behind in there.
This is a sick Negro.
You are a Negro. You are a nigga with an accent. Oh, I will vote for Donald Trump. You are a nigga with an accent, sir. The Somalians for Trump. You are a Negro with an accent.
That's another thing, Trill. Will, can I ask you a question about these okay, let me get this right. Let me say this the right way. How do you feel about the foreigners that come over here of black descent, like the Somalians, like the Africans, like the Jamaicans, that disrespect black Americans and call us lazy and say all these things about us that's not true, but they take the white ideology. They take the white ideology and they use it against us. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, how do we fix that problem? The white man told them that.
The white man, of course, the Western culture, movies, radio, songs, everything that white people have done to spread propaganda throughout the world. And I've traveled the world. I've been around the world twice. When I was in Japan, that was one of the questions I asked some of the Japanese natives. Why do people not like black people? But when I was in Japan, they were fascinated by my skin. They were fascinated by how I look, how I talk, how my vernacular was. AAVE, I was teaching them black slang. They loved it. It was like, you know, like what we see on TV, because that's where they learned it. They learned it from white propaganda. It's everything America has ever said about black people has been a lie. Everything. Everything has been propagated by white supremacy. White supremacy ain't stopped. You think white supremacy stopped after the Civil War? No. Jim Crow came after that. Black codes came after that. Convict leasing came after that.
Sharecropping came after that.
Yep.
I'll say this, man.
The whole nine.
I think this is the thing. This is the thing I'll say. And hold on, let me pull up my notes because I want to make sure I came prepared.
This is my whole note, bro.
But hey, you know, I don't get to sit with my brother Will all the time. You know, he don't always come hang out with the blacks, man. You know, he doing his thing. So I appreciate you coming down to hang out with the brothers, man.
You said that because I'm bald head, bro.
You gotta watch him, man. He got the Malcolm X glasses on. You gotta watch him. But the reason I say this is because I look at the people I grew up with, right? Because I was raised by my grandmother. We're talking about people who had real bigotry. Real bigotry. Let me ask you this. For those of us who came up, and I call it the Sammy Davis way.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because people call this, you know, they want to call you a coon, they want to call you monkey, whatever. That's okay. That's what they want to do. But is it wrong to live in that spot like Sam did, or to be like Louis Armstrong and travel the world as the biggest band in the world with no cares and kind of be accepted by the system and just kind of make your way from inside? Because it seemed like the only way to really make any real change is from within, because you wouldn't have Frank Sinatra at the Mount of 63 if he wasn't cool with Sammy Davis Jr.
Right.
I think a lot of times people don't realize that being liked sometimes, for at least for black folks, has been the key for a lot of things, because when JFK seen what happened on that Black Friday, seeing blacks get their head bust open, that's what changed everything.
Right.
That's what changed. And I think to myself, I'm trying to get to the point where we can not look at what the other side do and get back to what we do best. And that's build, grow, and have real community. Because I don't think the black community exists anymore. Because now how I look at it is, you got people who talk a good game. I hear the most people who've never been married, people who never really been committed to anything, want to tell me how to be committed or how to do things.
Right.
I don't think that's possible, because for me, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm not perfect. I've been with my wife. It'll be 15 years this year coming. We've been married 12. And I'm gonna tell you the thing about it is, I appreciate you saying that. The thing about it is, when you think about Big Mama and Big Daddy, they were a team. They owned 3 and 4 houses without worrying about anybody. Like, I remember when I was young, I used to have I don't know if you guys ever went to a black church, they had what we call a building fund, right?
Right.
Yep. Man, I've seen it to where we had $20,000 cash and my uncle went and bought the land behind the church with no bank, with nothing. And I'm saying, what happened to that black thought of we can do it on our own? We can finance our own movements, because at the end of the day, people don't realize Dr. King's whole movement was paid for by plumbers, electricians, carpenters.
Right.
But now the new black man say, "Oh, I'm too good for that. You're Uncle Tom because you get to go to work every day." What do you say to that?
Okay, I got this one. This one's a good one too. You want to know what happened to that?
What happened to that?
Black Wall Street happened. Rosewood happened. Ocoee, Florida happened. Rosewood, Florida happened. All those places happened. Where Black prosperity happened. Women to North Carolina, 1898, that happened. Elaine, Arkansas happened. The Move building in 1985 happened. The slaughter of those kids in Orangeburg, South Carolina in 1968 happened. Because Black people were doing it on their own. Remember, when we emancipated ourselves, because the number one, let's get this lie out of the way that somehow Republicans and white people freed the slaves. That was no way, shape, form, and fashion any way true. Black people emancipated themselves. And only when Black people realized they could emancipate themselves is when they did it. That's why you've probably never heard of Robert Smalls. That's why you probably never heard that Harriet Tubman was out here doing reconnaissance missions. And she was very, very key in the takeover of Fort Sumter during the Civil War.
The Civil War, yeah, she was a great spy. Yeah,
she was a spy of all spies. But there's a lot of information that Black people in general don't know, is because we've been shut out of it. That's why when you see communities you see Black communities that's raising money, that's getting money. You know, the Freedman Bank had millions of Black dollars in it, and white people stole it. They stole it. Just like right now in 2024, First Citizens Bank that was located in Atlanta, the oldest Black bank in America, was bought out by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo then shut down some of their branches. There used to be 86 Black-owned banks in America. Now there's only 20. That's what happened. That's the reason why you don't see us raising money, because they're shutting us out with monopolies. They're shutting us out with antitrust. They're shutting us out with BS policies passed by people like Donald Trump and the Republican Party, who don't give a crap about the American people. They especially don't give a crap about us. Why do you think there's so much racial animus towards a person like Kamala Harris or Jasmine Crockett? Why do you think there's so much racial animus towards a Black man like me or you that's intelligent, that knows what they're talking about? Why do you think that? Why? As a matter of fact, I'll give you one better. Why do you think there's so many people who hate the LDBC that look like us? Because Black unity is the biggest weapon of mass destruction in America. They are so terrified of Black unity, they'll do anything to stop it, no matter if we're minding our Black business.
I got a question now, True. I got another question for you. Salute D Free in the building.
What's up, D Free?
I got a question. How do you feel about all these social media influencers disrespecting Black people? You know what I'm saying? And Black people are sitting next to them while they doing it, Myron. And how do you feel about when Black people, such as we know who, I don't want to mention their names, but these Black podcasters that live on disrespecting Black people and they're Black themselves?
Most of these people are immigrants. Myron, his real name, he's Sudanese. DJ Facademics, he's not from here. Nicki Minaj, she's not from here. All these content creators, they see the money in denigrating the name of Black people. They see the money in it. Candace Owens, that's another one. All these people are doing it for money. That nappy-haired, goofy dude named Alvin, I forgot his last name. He walked his goofy nappy-haired ass out to Black, like he went to the No Kings protest and got through on his head. And it was funny to watch. And he got arrested. What were those white people he cooned for? Where were they at? They didn't come to his rescue. But he still wants to coon. Just like you got CJ Pearson, who's a coon. Mark Burns, coon, sellout. All these buck dancers, they're performative, but they see the money in it. They want the money. They want the bag that comes with cooning and shucking and jiving.
Morals? What about the morals? When does the money stop in the morals?
Coons don't care about morals. That's why if there was ever to be another civil war and I came across one, guess what? He's going to the pearly gates. I'm not wasting no time. I promise you, he won't make it. Hey, go up there. Hey, look, Junebug, take your little ass up there and go see if that's over there on the hill. See if there's anybody over there. Pow! Oh, my gun went off. y'all laughing? I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Let me say this. When I look at a guy like Myron, who's an Arab or whatever, which is cool. That's cool. I think the thing with these people is these are drifters, and I think a lot of times people don't understand that you can't look at them because they're putting on a performance.
Right.
Because I'll say this, and I just say I don't like the way Candace Owens lives, but see, I'm so old school. I know that way I move is not really normal because I grew up with the thought of you can't sleep white and talk black. Right. Now I'm one of those rare people who's like that, and I know a lot of times people say, "No, that's not true."
Wait,
that's
say
not
that again,
true.
BVO. Say that again.
You can't sleep white and talk black because my grandma was never a fan of Harry Belafonte, never a fan of Quincy Jones because of those things. And you say,
"Yeah, true."
Well, doggone, Martin stayed at Harry Belafonte's house all the time. Harry Belafonte gave almost every dime he had to Martin. But I think it's really come down to what you do and not what you say. And I think when you look at a lot of those people that do that, they're making money. Just like they had the white young lady who came up and did blackface, and then when she got demonetized, she wanted to cry and say, "Oh, they did me so wrong. They did me so wrong." I think of it like this. Most black people, man, I'm just be honest. We get caught up in the wrong things. And when I say we get caught up in the wrong things, we worry about the wrong things about like money. We worry about status, things that don't matter. Like right now, I'm working on my health, right? Trying to get myself back in shape.
Right.
I think if we focus on those things that our great grandparents did, there's a book out called "Our Great Parents Live Better." Our parents live better than us. But for us, for some of us, it would be our great grandparents. You think about how these people with no education could buy a house, 2 and 3 cars, 2 and 3 houses, and now you look at their kids, they don't own nothing. They can't graduate high school. I think it just really, man, we lost what's important. And what's important is to be a part of this equation, not screaming outside the building of it. I just don't think it works that way. I think people being liked and being included weighs way more. Because look at Joseph in the Bible. The whole reason he's able to save his whole family is because he was loved and liked. And they say, you know what? Bring your people, man. And I think we got to get back to that. Because we will never get what we want to get, man, trying to fight this unwinnable war of whether it's white supremacy or anything like that, because that's how it was built. That's how it was built. Anytime you can come to a place and say, "I own land," you can't do that. People laugh at the Indians and say, "How did you sell Manhattan for a bag of Skittles?" Well, they didn't believe you could even buy that land. They didn't believe that was something that you could even own and possess. They just said you can have it because you say you want it. But these things that we're trying to do. We're trying to fight people who I would say really, really mean the worst for us. And I think we got to get back to just simple economics, like the brother in Georgia, man. I think his name is Simon Ware, built his own school. Him and a couple of brothers built their own school. I think you got to get more of that, because if not, I feel like you get more talking than you do actually boots on the ground doing things. Because one thing my wife said that she hates all the time, because she works in the financial sector, is that people judge blacks. And they don't understand that they got so many things going on that they don't even have the basics. So of course they're not paying their rent on time.
Yeah, but I will give you a caveat. And I used to think that too, but it's a whole lot more deeper than that. Let me tell you how white supremacy works. Ronald Reagan is the reason why black people can't own houses and land like they used to. Ronald Reagan is the reason why we can't own 2 or 3 cars like our grandparents did. Our grandparents had a better economy, because when Ronald Reagan cut the effective tax rate from 90% down to 28%, it took the load from the rich people who had more than enough money to pay for the infrastructure and schools and all that. That's the reason why we have the roads and buildings and stuff we have, because the rich people were paying for it, as they should.
Right.
We shifted the responsibility of the upkeep for this economy from the rich people all the way to the middle class and poor people, which is the reason why you see the wealth disparity that we have. I was working in the financial sector. I worked in the financial sector for 15 and a half years before I quit in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I know finance from start to finish, in and out, back to front. There's no part of finance I don't know. Macro, microeconomics, the whole nine. My bachelor's in business management with an emphasis in supply chain management. I know supply chains like the back of my hand. I watched Trump desecrate the supply chain during the pandemic. Watch him. I watched companies, and the company I work for, matter of fact, for example, they took all that money that they got from the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and they bought back their stocks and built their dividends and gave themselves raises and fired a quarter of the company. Now, you tell me what trickle economics has ever worked for anybody. It's never worked. It's a fallacy. That's the reason why the economics in this country is the way it is. What we have to do in order for us to get this economy to where it favors us, I mean the working class, the middle class like us, like me, like you, the middle class like insane, like us, the way you get that, number one, you desecrate Citizens United. Get that the fuck up out of here. Get APAC the fuck up out of here. Get them all up. Get money, lobbyists, all that out of here. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Corporate Democrats, vote them out of office. Get them out of the way. Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, get them out of the way. They're going to do everything they can to uphold the system and the status quo. You need people who are going to be rebels, like me. If I was in a position in the Congress or Senate, I'm going to be a rebel. I am passing bills. I am writing bills to the floor to get rid of all of it. Because the bills, have the American people vote and pay your salary. You make $174,000 a year. You make more than most of your constituents. And most of these people now, if you see Republicans, these mothers only been at work a couple weeks out of the last, 6-7 months? Mm-hmm. And you let and people keep letting Republicans off. They keep letting them off. Oh, it's the Dems. Everything is the Dems' fault. The Dems are the only adults in the room. They're the only ones that's responsible. They're the only ones that have been voted in their seat. They're the only one taking our taxpayer-funded checks. No. The Republicans are. They're taking your checks, and they're passing bills to make your life harder. I.e. right now, your insurance is scheduled to go up by the 31st of this month.
That's a fact.
Who did that? The one big beautiful bill voted into power by Republicans.
And it messed a lot up.
In the last 11 recessions, who caused the majority of them?
Republicans.
George Bush, Ronald Reagan, and Donald Trump is the reason why we owe $38 trillion in debt. White supremacy in the last 20 years has cost America $16 trillion. That's a fact.
I got another question, and this is a two-part question. I don't want to take over the panel.
Hey, no, you good.
Do you think for Black people to get further in life, we need to make more millionaires? We need to make more millionaires overnight, or do with time? And this is the second part of the question: the way these white supremacists get behind these dudes, get behind these racists, like old girl who disrespected the Black child, and the lady that was at the cinnamon shop or whatever, how they got behind her and made her an instant 100,000 there. Do you believe that Black people need to vote 5 people from out of each county or whatever? And how can I say this? Out of each check, okay, let me say it like this. I'm gonna simplify it for myself. So if we get like a community of people, right, per se, like the city of Long Beach, and all the Black people came together, said, we're gonna make 5 Black people millionaires. So out of our check, we're gonna give $100 for the next year or 2 years to make them millionaires, and then out of the next 2 years we pick another 5. Do you think that would help the Black community? And what I said earlier, I don't know if I said that right, but I tried to simplify it.
I get where you're going. I think what would happen is more bills that centered around the working class. The more bills centered around the working class. That's why I got behind Kamala Harris. I read her platform. She was proposing giving $25,000 to first-time home buyers, $50,000 to start up businesses. Taking away the reason why housing is so high is because of BlackRock buying up all these single-family homes and renting them out, causing you to be forever. Matter of fact, let me pause and say, because y'all see what y'all got one in here. Straight Fighter for Life says victimhood. Guess what, Straight Fighter for Life? You're a victim too. Now what? Yeah, I'm a victim. You had a 400-year head start on me, and I'm still doing better than you in life. Now you tell me who fucked up, me or you?
Talk to him. And I'm on my way owning my third home, so you can't do me like that.
See, the problem is saying, you know what the problem is? These people always love to come in here and talk about black people are victims while ignoring all the shit that these racists have done. Even Donald Trump right now, they have centered DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion around just black people. When the biggest proponents, the biggest ones who took away from DEI policies were white women.
White women. That's
affirmative action, white women again. No, you know who was behind them? White men. You know where black people fell with DEI? At the bottom of the list. We've been building ourselves for generations. We wasn't giving shit. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Nothing. We earned everything. I earned every degree. I earned my house. I earned the 2 acres of land that it sits on. Nobody gave me nothing. I'm a victim. I'm a victim and I'm a victor. You're too stupid to realize you're a victim though. Oh man, these blacks are always talking about victimhood. All these blacks. Well, what about you, white man? You still living in that single wide trailer, voting Republican while they shit on you and your family. You don't even care about the policies because you don't know nothing about it. You're too ignorant. You're too busy trying to complain about what we're doing, but you ain't talking about the amount of white men being found with little kids in CSAM. You ain't talking about that. You ain't talking about how white men lead the country in mass murder. How they lead the country in what else? Let's go down some statistics, shall we? Larcenies, white men. DUIs, white men. Drug abuse, white men. Drug arrest, white men. You want to keep going? You're a victim. They made you feel like your white skin gave you some prowess over my black ass. And every time you tried it, you failed. And you had a 400-year head start. You had 400 years, over 200 years of slavery, free labor, free money. Your ancestors profited off of. Then you had Jim Crow. You had 175 years of Jim Crow. Then you had segregation. Then you had convict leasing. You had every advantage. You had the Homestead Act, the VA, the FHA loans that they wouldn't give the black people. You had the GI Bill that they didn't give the black people. And you want to come in here and talk about victimhood. My dad was born in 1953. My dad went to a segregated school. My grandfather was a sharecropper. Oops. And I'm still better than you. 8 years in the Marine Corps, veteran, decorated, got our honorable discharge, 2 college degrees, finished dean's list. Successful father, making more money than you can dream of. I got more money in my account now than you could ever think about having. I got clothes in my closet that cost more than your house. I got watches in my bag in there that cost more than your car and your house. I said that to say this. Not saying it to be braggadocious. I'm saying it because you have a moral failure to address, sir. You don't need to be worrying about black victimhood. You need to be worrying about white failure. That's what you need to be worrying about because you've been voting against yourself because Lyndon B. Johnson told y'all the biggest thing y'all should have been listening to. He said, if you can convince the poorest white man that he is greater than the best black man, he won't even notice you're picking his pockets. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for me. And you spent your load in that club and you broke. You broke, nigga. Welcome. Pick him up. Somebody pack him up, please. Pack him up. Oh, no, victimhood. They love saying that. I love when y'all say that because I have statistical data. I have statistics data. I have history. I have context. I have stuff wrote down. You bragged about it. White men have bragged about the desecration of the black community, and still we rise every single time. That's why you're really mad. You're really mad because you see this black man in this big ass house with this big ass computer, with this big ass monitor that costs way more than what you can afford. That's a $4,000 monitor, homie. Oops. These glasses are $800. Oops. This chain is $700. Oops. Where you better than me at? Sorry. Your whiteness failed you, homie.
That boy Will Cole. Hey, let
Talk
me get
to
my
him
man
then.
Let me get my man Puerto Rican Free in here. What's going on? What you got on this? What you got on Puerto Rican Free?
No, I listening to the cook. Y'all up here cooking. What's going on? Well,
What's up with it, D3?
and I mean, I agree with a lot what Will say. I like the fact that he went over to doing a politics channel. And I remember when he said this. He said it when he was doing back when the whole campaign was going on. He said, y'all mad I got into politics better than I do boxing. And you absolutely correct. I like how you be cooking when you're doing the politics. Shout out to you and your channel. I see your channel growing. I see you have a lot of people there when you're doing your show. Keep doing what you're doing because this is what we need. We need people to speak on politics that actually know what's really going on. A lot of people listen to what other people say and they don't really know what's going on. They don't know how politics really work, and they don't know who's really behind all of the movement when this stuff goes down. They just go by what the vast majority is out here talking about. They don't talk about the little dark secrets that they keep hidden to themselves that they don't let the vast majority know about. And if you don't have nobody speaking about it, nobody's ever going to know about it. Go with the status quo. But keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing.
Hey, salute to you, D3. There's a reason why.
And just so y'all know, D Free is a Puerto Rican. That's not a black man you're talking to.
Oh,
D Free is a
what's happening, though?
Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. I don't want nobody to get up and say a black man was talking. No, that's a Puerto Rican up there. So give him his credit.
Leave my boy D3 alone, man. Hey, yo,
they think his brother up there talking, man. I've got to let people know.
Hey, you want to know something for real though, D3? I think because I talked to 78 about it, and because I was gonna go back to doing boxing. He was like, "No, bro, you need to stay where you at. That's your lane, bro. You can dissect and put together stuff and show receipts and show statistics and data and stuff like nobody would know if you didn't go look for it."
Right,
cool.
right.
And
I saw that
that's the thing.
when you first did your channel, and I saw you was up there talking about it. I was like, we'll talk about politics. Let me see if he really know what he's talking about. I'm sitting there listening. And it was a couple of times I came to the channel. I didn't really say much because a lot of times when I go to these channels, I don't really comment in the comment section. I sit back and listen to what the host got to say. And I was sitting back listening. And I was like, we'll know what he's talking about. I say he's real good at this. This is his avenue. Yes, he know boxing and he can talk about boxing, but this is his avenue. This is because everybody can do different things. You might can talk about basketball. You might can talk about football. You might can talk about boxing or whatever. But when you find an avenue that actually draw people, that's the avenue that you need to stay at because you can talk boxing. That's why they have your other brother channels. You can go there and talk boxing with them. But your avenue is politics. You know what you're talking about, and it's not something that
you got a mad one in the chat. He mad. Get him a
That's my boy too, man. That's my boy.
Everybody tough on the internet, dog. You ain't saying nothing nobody's ever said to me before, dog. I'm not scared of you or anybody else. I've been to combat twice.
You talking crazy.
Yeah, I done been to combat twice, and I tell you what, there's a mystery mouse toolbox I can send you to hell faster than FedEx.
Believe that. Is it because we're talking about the uplifting of black people? Is that the problem?
No.
Black men out here talking intelligent.
Well, this is a brother, man, who I'll say, and I'll speak for him because he's a good brother. I think a lot of time is this, and this is what I tell a lot of my brothers, man, who don't understand. A lot of those people that stand there are farm hands. You guys didn't own any slaves. No one's talking to you guys. It's like you get so many farm hands that forget that we're not talking about you. We're talking about a system. So you can even remove yourself from even thinking about it. Which the best thing you can do is get back on that horse, man, and go up the road.
Hey, dog.
And I think,
hey, BBL, not to cut you off a bit, dog, but I'm saying People that say stuff like him, like Straight Fighter, the people who say stuff like him, I hit a nerve because I'm telling the truth. Like there were many people, like Jillian Michaels try to get on CNN and say, "Oh, only 2% only really own slaves," and blah 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 blah. There was a whole sloth of people who benefited from that system of slavery. Just like now, they benefit from the systems of slavery right now. That's why I would never get up here and say that all white people are racist. That would be a lie. I've said this a billion times, but I do believe a majority of white people in America are comfortable in the system of racism. That's why they get mad when black people start talking about, oh, what I did, what I accomplished. Now you want to talk about fighting and war. You don't even know me. Then you want to put yourself in a predicament the way you want to get in your car, drive down here, and I send you straight to hell FedEx overnight. Because I promise you, I'm never by myself. I always got something with me that's going to send you straight where you need to be. So keep them threats to yourself, homie. I ain't that. And that ain't this. And you ain't no gangster on the internet, dog. I don't believe you. Anybody who would get mad at somebody's opinion on the internet, you a real bitch. I said that. And I'll tell you that. And anybody who's ever met me in person know I'll tell you that in your face. I'm not scared of you. I'll smack the shit out of you. Who are you? Oh man, I'm 6'4", 450 pounds, dog. I'm 5'9", 220 pounds. I will pack you up. And I'm in shape.
And got something that's about about 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds.
Hey, man.
I got plenty of options.
We can't have my bro insane, aka Cole for Martin.
You can go AR, you can go at my Smith and Wessons. You can pick. You want my Taurus, my Ruger. You want any one of them? You got it. I ain't gonna hold you. As soon as my camera pick you up in my yard, say goodbye to your family. I'm going to send you where you need to be. You obviously chose to fuck around and find out. I'm Mr. Find Out. Me, him. I'm Mr. Find Out. Just keep that energy on the internet, homie. This ain't even that. It ain't even that serious. You just mad because you a failure. That ain't my fault. That's you. That's a you problem, homie.
That's a fact because it's crazy. Me and BVO was just talking about that, how dudes pretend to be something online, but in real life is something different.
They do it all the time.
Bro, if you were really like that, bro, you would want to be far away from that type of environment because you get tired of being in chaos, but it is what it is.
Bro, people don't want, bro. Some people love chaos, bro. And he one of them. They love chaos. They want to see the angry black guy. I'm not the angry one. When I get angry is when you should worry. When I'm quiet is when you should worry. Because then it's over with. I'm done talking and rationalize. I done ran out of grace. That ain't cool.
And you know the thing I want to bring up, because we all know about how great a job my man Trill is doing with politics, because when it came to boxing, I never seen him big up the Spanish fighters enough. But we'll let him live on that. We'll let him live on that. He was a stone cold hater when it came to Oscar. I looked him up. He was a stone cold hater, man, when it came to Spanish boxing. So I'm glad you at where you at, man, because we gotta have people keep it real, man. Like this guy been boxing behind us, Emiliano Vargas, the future of boxing. When you see a guy like that, man, what does that make you say about the future, man, of boxing? Is it bright for you?
See, it is the future of boxing is bright. I mean, it's as long as we have more people that are willing to show and prove that they're the best, like Devin Haney. Devin Haney's one of those ones who no matter how you feel about him, that man don't turn down nothing but his collar. I like fighters like that. I don't like all this gossip. Oh, I'm gonna fight. I don't want to fight him because you need to give me $100 million to go fight him. You need to give me 10 million. You ain't never made $10 million in your life, and you out here talking all this clout chasing and all that. I hate this era of boxing, to be real with you. I'd rather have the best fighting the best. I miss days when I watch Hagler versus Hearns. I watched Tyson. I watched Lennox Lewis. I watched Winky Wright. I watched Pernell Whitaker. I watched all of them. You know what I mean? Those were the good old days where people really they stood on business.
So you watch Oscar watch Pernell Whitaker, right?
Yes, and I was, man, let me hush.
He watched. I told you free.
I'm not gonna take you free from a daggone Mexican. I'm not gonna do it.
I told you free. People know that Oscar watched Pernell. That little flash knockdown he had, that was cool. That was cool. But we wasn't tripping about that, man. That's a flash knockdown.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with a person getting knocked down. It's what a person do when he gets back up. Because I see him get back up and make Oscar look crazy in the ring. Oscar threw 14 straight punches, and Cornell didn't throw a single punch, and he missed every one of those punches.
Man, he's
you
still
said it because he ran, free.
BBO, he's still mad. BBO, that's what. Y'all gonna give him, somebody give Straight Fighter a hug, man. Come on, man. He's demanding right now. Let me on now, BBO. No, I ain't arguing with you, dog.
But I'll say this. I'll say this because one thing about my brother, something my brothers.
Now you coming here with the disrespect. First off, ain't your boy. Number two, I'm a grown ass man, dog. I'm a grown ass man. You're mad. Your little black pride. That's y'all homie. I told you I bring the racists out, bro.
I've never heard him talk like that before.
You are a racist pile of shit. I don't care if you're gonna be fighting for your life, big dog. I'm not fighting you. I'm 47. I'm not fighting you. I already told you. You can pick from the mystery mouse toolbox from behind me. I can make. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Hold on, big dog.
Hold on. We moving on, man. We moving on. We moving on.
This thing got real.
Dang. That's my dude too, man. Shout out to my brother Straight Fighter. That's my dude, man. I ain't never heard him talk. Hey, Free, we ain't never heard him talk like that. Shout out to Straight Fighter. Me and Free been doing this 3 years. He ain't never talking like that. I tell
you what, BBO, tell him he can talk to my homies. S&P. Talk to them. They got 15 babies. And she loud too. She real loud.
Speaking of that, because I definitely want to get a little boxing talk out of you, especially with a little more.
Mr. Shelton in the building.
Now I'm a boy.
Salute to Mr. Shelton in the business.
Black pride, Black pride, Black joy is revolutionary, homie. Black joy.
I'm gonna be real. That's one of my dudes that when I first started was on here, so that's kind of shocking to see the stuff he's saying.
But it's amazing. You notice I didn't say nothing derogatory. All I basically said was the truth that Black people have been lied about and lied on and lied to for generations upon generations. History has been lied, nothing but a whole series of lies. We've been lied to on the world stage. They've told other people of other demographics that we were lazy, we were mean, we were hypersexual, we beat on women, we don't respect our own selves, we don't respect our women, we're low IQ, we're this, we're that, we're the other. They say this stuff all the time, and it's nothing but a bunch of fabricated lies to cover up for the lie that they are inadequate, mediocre, and weak. You're weak. Straight Fighter is weak. You're weak. You'll die on that hill. Literally and figuratively.
I'm being real. I never heard him talk like that.
Well, you learn something every day, don't you, bro?
He said, "Tell Will to fix that dry ass pound cake." I don't know what he's talking about.
Don't even listen to Mahari. Mahari always in here talking shit.
Yeah, Mahari is a Bulls fan, man. We don't listen to Bulls fans.
Yeah, we don't listen to Bulls fans around here.
Yeah, Mahari been running for a long time. He supposed to debate me on some basketball, but he keep running, right. So it is.
Well, he ducking you insane for real.
I swear he really ducking me, bro. It don't make no sense. He had, me and 7-8 chopped it up about it. He chopped it up and he just keep ducking me. So I let it go. I don't even want to do it no more.
Hey, BBR, I be trying to tell these races on the internet, but these 5.56s are real.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm being totally honest, man. Me and Free been doing this show 3 years, and that's a dude I've never heard him talk like that. That's crazy,
bro. I'm telling you, it's something about being prideful in who you are and knowing the real truth about who you are. It gives you a different type of feeling, bro. I would never, ever, in a day in my life, ever not feel proud to be a Black man. I would never. There ain't nobody on this internet, nobody anywhere. I don't care if they took my channel tomorrow. I won't care. I will forever be grateful that God gave me melanated skin. And I am also grateful that God gave me the wherewithal to go and research who my people were and what we really stood on. Not none of these lies. Not, Reagan and Republicans freed the slaves. You Blacks should be grateful. No, they didn't. Ronald Reagan said, not Ronald Reagan, but Abraham Lincoln said after the Civil War, he said, if I could free all the slaves and save the Union, I would do that. He also said, if I could keep them all enslaved and save the Union, I would also do that. He also said, if I could free some and save others and save the Union, then I will also do that. Does that sound like a man who is hell-bent on freeing slaves?
No, that was all about the Union, man.
When the Union, well, no. Here's another thing. When the slaves emancipated themselves from captivity down south, they went up north to the Union armies. The Union Army was under strict orders that when you see those enslaved people, to send them back to the plantations where they came from. There were so many slaves who emancipated themselves, they couldn't. So they had no other choice but to let them join the Union Army. They then in turn went back to where they were captive and took their freedom. But they'll never tell you that in the history book. Why? Because they want you as a black man in America to believe that you're weak, that you need a white savior to come and save you from everything. And notice that everything in America that everybody gets to enjoy now has been done because of the sacrifices of black men and black women. Fannie Lou Hamer, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth.
Did you see? Let me ask you this, and I don't want to get too deep in it because I know how YouTube can get.
No, you.
Are you shocked that the stuff that people say about Dr. King now? Because I knew he was human. But why do you think people kind of focus on the fact that he was human so much?
Anything to take away from black unity, they will say. They posed as fake. They had a fake letter going to Malcolm X trying to make him turn against Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
They went and literally had, you got to think about it. What was the reason that Fred Hampton got murdered? Because they had a black man infiltrate where the Black Panthers were laying their head in Chicago. They came in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, fired 100 shots, and they shot him dead. They had to get a coon to do it. Just like in New York, the Black Panther chapter in New York, it did the same thing there. Why do you think that every time there is a movement with a whole bunch of black people pretty much uplifting being black, not denigrating no one else, not desecrating nobody else's race or nothing, none of that, simply existing, simply building with one another? Why do you think we're met with so many cool? As a matter of fact, I'll make it even something that you can see yourself. On YouTube, you can type in the LDBC, and I guarantee you 97% of the people who do hate videos on the LDBC look like me. Why is that? Because
they've been hating on the movement.
Thank you. Because they see what the LDBC is. We're not just a community of people just up here talking. We're a real life family. They see it when they see the meet and greets. They get jealous. They make hate videos. They did it when we was in Atlanta. They hate it. They were doing hate videos. When I met Deontay, I got a clip right now. Was that
the one where you was crying real hard?
When I was on 78's panel and I talked to Deontay Wilder and I said, Deontay, I hope that I get to see you in Atlanta. And when I do, I am going to do an interview with you. And it came to pass when me and him both screamed Bomb Squad together. That happened because of the LDBC. That man literally drove, what everybody don't know is, that man literally drove 4.5 hours just to hang out. And he was mad that we didn't tell him about the cookout the next day. He was mad about it, pissed. He's like, dude, I would have stayed down there. Had I known y'all was doing that, y'all having a cookout, I would have stayed down here in my house in Atlanta. I would have came and hung out with y'all. That man literally, he did not want to go nowhere. It was hot as hell outside. He didn't want to go nowhere. He was cool where he was at. That's what these weirdos on the internet don't understand. The reason that man drove, a multi-millionaire, gets in his car and drives 4.5 hours from Tuscaloosa to Atlanta just to hang out with us. You don't see how powerful that is? You see what my shirt says, right, BVO? Loyalty.
Yeah.
The LDBC is loyal. We're not only loyal to ourselves, we're loyal to each other. We're loyal to everyone who we support.
Let me ask you this about that.
Go ahead, bro.
when I seen the videos and I seen mainly you and my man TD Sports, when I seen y'all crying like that, was it?
You a hater.
Because y'all had the chat. I thought you the Chinese, Will. You was crying so hard. I thought you were Chinese, man.
You a damn hater, man. I was not crying. I had a ball.
You were crying.
You wanna know something? I'm gonna tell you the truth, though. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It wasn't then. It was at the cookout. I did cry. You wanna know why? I'll tell you why. I'm man enough to say it. Because I see my family. And a lot of them that I've been wanting to meet, I got to meet in person, like Drew Titan, and I got to meet Ack. I got to meet the whole Usual Suspect 6. I got to see all my, and the most important, I seen the joy on my brother Junior the Truth's face after all of his hard work in Queen 71. Seeing all of their hard work, it made me shed a tear because I love seeing the hard work of somebody pay off. I love it. I'm not a hater. I'm no way, shape, or form a hater. I just love to see Black unity. I love to see Black people coexist without the hate. And then anytime there's an LDBC meet and greet, you won't see no hate there. I challenge any of y'all to go to an LDBC meet and greet. Go. And then come back and talk to me after it's over with, then tell me what you felt when you went there. You're going to feel a whole environment of warmth, of family, of everybody in one building. No one hating, everybody enjoying themselves. We protecting the queens, and we also looking out for the kings. We're also enjoying one another, having a good time, making memories. And these people on the internet hate to see it. They hate it. It tears their soul apart, just like a white supremacist. It tears their soul apart to see proud Black people just existing. Notice I didn't have to say anything to denigrate that dude who came in here getting mad. I didn't have to say anything. I was simply talking about my experience. I experienced racism in the military. I almost got court-martialed for it because a sergeant called me a nigger in front of my platoon. And I punched him in his mouth. Then he lied to the sergeant major. I had to get 76 affidavits of people who stood there and heard him say what he said. And he ended up getting bussed down to a lance corporal. My punishment was being a sergeant of the guard for 3 weeks. And he worked for me. And I made his life a living hell.
As you
I
should.
sure
But Trill
Go ahead,
Will, don't even worry about it, right? Because BVO was crying when he met Tio Female Lopez.
Damn.
Yeah, he cried. He cried, and Miss BVO is the one that
You shed a
exposed it.
tear,
So
bro.
yeah.
You shed a tear, bro.
Yeah, he was crying, like literal tears.
Yeah,
What a man.
What a mess.
This is a sick Negro.
Up in here. Good God Almighty.
He found out BVO. He looked like Tim Bradley when he got happy when he seen a butter biscuit. Lord Jesus.
Hey, look, if it's a lie, it was told to us. And he know, and he
Clarence
admitted it
said he was
himself.
there, bro. My brother Clarence said he was there. He synced it. He was BVO, you weren't blowing snot bubbles, bro. Tell me.
I was happy to meet him. I ain't gonna lie, I was happy to meet him, but I ain't blowing no snot bubbles, man.
BVO blowing snot bubbles to kill female, dog.
So when Tio came up, I didn't realize he was that small. So when I'm talking to him on the video, I put my arm around him. So all of a sudden, you know, you got Clarence there talking about he gave me a hug and kissed me on the head, all that crazy stuff.
We actually seen what Mr. Sheldon posted. He seen a video of y'all and you was crying and you hugged him, and you know what I'm saying? We seen that video.
No, that was AI, bro. I wasn't hugging him like that, man. Y'all tripping, man.
I don't think that was AI, brother. I think that was some solid evidence.
Dog.
He said BVO almost knocked Meek Mill down. No, I didn't. Hey, he said that because we was in the front. We was in the front, man.
Bro, don't
we
tell
was
me
in the front. We in the front, and I walked past Meek to get the Tio, man. He talking about I'm knocked down and knock him down to beat the man.
He was running the Tio, bro.
Hey, I had to meet the champ, man. I had to meet the champ. It was funny too, because when I met him, I couldn't believe how little he was. I was excited, man. You don't get to meet little Floyd every day. Shout out to Tio, man.
Oh my God, that shit's funny, dog.
Shout out to Tio, man.
Running BVO running the Tio. That shit. Funny.
I want to run into. I like how you feel that.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious.
No,
So when we
the
met,
part,
go ahead.
the part when he was crying was the funniest part. When the man
Oh my
gave T.O. a
God.
hug, then he thought the pizza man was against T.O. He tried to fight the pizza man over
No,
T.O.
this
That's
so we
crazy.
went. Hold on, we went to me, my wife, and another brother that come on the show. He co-hosted the show, my man Prize.
Yeah.
We went to a pizza place. I don't know what was going on with my boy Prize. He was saying something crazy. The pizza was saying something crazy. I just said, give me, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of tired. I said, just give me the effing drinks and let's go. So I went to, so I'm yelling at the pizza man, and Tio and his whole team in there sitting around, and they look kind of like spooked because they seen me kind of, I was kind of screaming at the pizza guy.
Oh man.
But when we left, he shook my hand and we left. That was cool. That was cool to run.
Crazy.
It was
But
cool.
did you do that because he forgot to put pepperoni on T.O. pizza?
Nah.
Damn. Don't do that, man. Oh, bro.
I'm just telling you what was told to me.
Clarence said you ran the T.O. with open arms.
Oh. Don't tell me you was singing Celine Dion when he was running to him, bro. Don't tell me that, dog.
Yo, man.
Come on, BBO, bro.
He was
Hey,
singing,
I
he was singing Seal.
ain't say nothing when I seen Deontay's shirt was wet after hugging you and Tommy from the Bronx. I ain't say nothing, but y'all want to try to put me out. Y'all
Oh,
want
so
to put me out.
That's what we doing, huh? Okay.
He said he ran to him. It was funny because as soon as I seen TD Sports, he'd be up right away. Oh, you mentioned what?
Man, I had, you know what, bro? I tell you what, that was like I met Bill Haney in Dallas. I met him, Rick Ross. I met a few people down in Dallas, but Bill Haney really is like the coolest. He real cool and laid back. Like I literally had a chance to just chill, cut it up with him, talk to him. And he was there just chilling, bro. He literally flew down there just to go to the meet and greet. Like he literally flew down there just for that. Like that's what loyalty gets you. You know what I mean? I
Bill's a good dude. He get a lot of flack, but he's a good dude. I mean, I just think my only critique ever been of Devin, that always would be, I feel like Devin don't talk enough, and I just kind of realized that's what Devin wants to do. You got to respect it. Yeah, if he don't want to talk, let him do it.
His dad is his promoter, and that's what his job is. He's supposed to promote. But I ain't hear nobody say that about
Will, he don't talk. He don't talk.
Right, but that's what his father's job is. His father's job is to promote him, to get him the fights that he wants.
That's what he get paid for.
Most I heard Devin say is, what Devin say, y'all said this Photoshop. That's the most I heard Devin ever say. That's where I get all the hate come from.
That's what he said. They hate because Devin Haney, that dude. They hate it.
But no, what I'm saying is, you talking about a dude who don't talk. I don't know where the hate comes from a dude who don't talk.
What are you doing in the ring?
I heard Devin say, "What if I knock
I've
you
never
down?"
I've never heard Devin say anything negative. I've never heard him say nothing negative.
But they hate on him because he's great in the ring, dog. He's great he's one of those. It's not what I say, it's what I do that proves who I am. And I love people like that because I live by that credo. I live by it's what you do that defines who you are. I don't care about what you say. What you say, anybody can lie. Everybody's capable of lying. We're all human. Everybody's capable of lying, but doing what you say, that's the real testament of who you are. And that right there, I can get behind. His daddy cares too much. That's why he gets a lot of hate. That's why you don't hear, you all of the stuff that they said about Tank Davis, that stuff is credible because you can look at his body of work. Dude, you're not fighting your contemporaries. So yeah, there we go.
I think he don't get a fair shake, but that's another dude who doesn't speak very well, and I think it hurts him. I think that's a problem because if you look at Tank, and I know a few people around his team, I don't think he got nobody to tell him the truth, man.
No,
because
you
can't tell me this stuff that's going on with women. Ain't nobody ever told you. You got to chill out, bro.
Facts.
That's wild.
That's
I haven't heard one dude come out and say nothing about. Say it again.
That's what happened when you have a bunch of yes men around. Just like,
bro, he said, what did he say? What did he say in that post? He said, "Watch your daughter before she become the next victim."
Right.
What would possess him to say? What would possess him to say that? I still can't believe I heard that.
Peep this though. Like the way that you see Donald Trump do, and Donald Trump messed this country up, messed the standing up on everywhere. Like our world standing is messed up like unbelievably messed up. It's going to take decades of diplomacy to fix what this man done tore up in less than a year. The reason why he can do that is because he has nobody holding him in check. Just like Tank. Tank can go out here and disrespect his fans left, right, front, and centers. I done heard him cuss them out. I done seen it on Twitter. I done seen him cuss them out. And here they are. They're getting mad at the people trying to say, man, what's up with you supporting this dude who disrespects you? And you get mad at the person doing that. That's the crazy work for me. just like right now, you got boxing fans that keeps bringing up Ryan Garcia cheating against Devin Haney as is that something to be proud of. Like, it's the wild part for me. Like, come on, man. If your only claim to fame is talking about a dude who cheated, came in overweight, with pads in your system, Nandrolone and Osterin in your system, you was on live video on the zone, taking an IV in your arm. It's talking like it was casual, like, oh man, it ain't shit, man. I'll do this anyway. That's the craziest thing. And then you got black people who heard this man on Twitter Spaces saying how he hates black people, how he wanted to dig up George Floyd and kill him again. That's what he said.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And
I told
black
Brady
people
that he
man.
could not believe I was real. Shout out to my brother Brady the Bot. He could not believe I was real. I had to play him the audio.
Like,
he couldn't believe I was real.
That's crazy, bro. That's the wild part for me. Like, I can't get behind somebody who takes shots at black people because you're mad that you didn't do what you said you was going to do, even with the overweight and the Osterine and Nandrolone in your system. You still couldn't knock that man out, but y'all said that man was chinny. You said he had pillow fists, but the only rounds you won was the ones you dropped him in, and it was his own fault you dropped him because he was hedge hunting. He wasn't boxing. When he was boxing him, he was boxing Ryan's ears off.
Ryan is one in a million with that left hook, though. I don't blame him. I don't blame people getting caught. You getting caught. That people don't understand that left hook he got. We haven't seen that since Roy Jones, man. You know that's like from God. You can't stop that left hook.
But here's my caveat to that, and this is what I do in politics. What happened in his fight against Rolly, though? Rolly dropped
he took it away. Yeah, he took it away.
Is Rolly a better boxer than Devin Haney? Hell no.
No.
On no planet is Rolly Romero a better boxer than Devin the Dream Haney. Ain't no way, shape, form, or fashion. No way. On any planet.
You see him with his new trainer though? I'm telling you, his new trainer, man, Rolly's a problem, dog. What smell solids?
Rolly is openly ducking.
Yeah,
hold on right now. Ducking who?
Ducking Dale. I would
man,
never.
He's trying to get some of that Manny Pacquiao money, man. Y'all gotta stop.
Look, I would never ever fight Devin Haney ever.
Salute to Coach Hackett on the panel. Salute to the coach.
Oh, salute, man.
What's up, Coach, man? Hey, Coach is stone cold player, man. You gotta watch Coach, man. He'll say some of the coldest stuff you ever heard in your life, chill. You gotta watch Coach, man. So, Coach, we gotta ask you this, man. Everybody keeps saying, when I met Tio, I was crying, man. Can you put that to bed, man? Was I crying when I met Tio?
Like a baby.
There you go.
I guess you can't be able to see nobody. Niggas want to see you.
Jesus Christ. DBO out here crying.
You're always cold, man.
He wasn't crying, but he was scared to go over there and introduce himself. His wife had to say, man, go on over there and just say hi. We finally had to get him over there. Nigga was nervous like a prom date.
Don't tell me he was shaking, bro. He's out here shaking like a stripper, bro. Dang, BBO. That's crazy.
Hey, man, you don't get to see Baby Floyd every day, man. Shout out to Tio, man. You don't get to see
that's not Baby Floyd. But I gotta get out of here. You guys. I salute everybody. But somebody in the chat said Devin couldn't sell water in the desert, but he sold more than you, and he's a multi-millionaire at the age of 27. So I guess he's selling something. Salute to the panel and stop hating on black people because we rising.
Woo! Cold work, brother.
Hey, let me ask you this, Coach, while we got you on, because we got my brother Trill Wood, who's into the politics, man, which I love, man. That's why I had to get my brother on here. What would be your thing that you would say, Coach, that would be a key to success for more black people to be successful, in your opinion, Coach?
Education. and stop thinking they know everything and get behind people and things of the black community that make sense. Stop supporting foolishness. Looked at a guy get out of prison. Some rapper just got out of prison after 20 years, and they saluted him like he was Mandela. That's our problem.
Thank you.
Like
Programming and conditioning is the problem in the black community. And the more
he didn't say a word though, coach. That count for something, doesn't it?
He said a word. That was a word there. Like he said the same thing I said a while ago. The same thing I said. The way in order to get black people together, get us to where we're moving into a positive direction, is to educate us. Educate. There's a lot of misinformation going in the black community. It is a whole bunch of it, and it's done by purpose. It's done on purpose. It's a lot of lies being told to black people. Donald Trump just got on stage and said, black people love me. No, we don't. Coons love you. Sambo sellouts. They ain't got no kind of morals or don't care about the sacrifices of the ancestors. They don't care about nothing. All they care about is that little chick they get and that pat on the head. They do not care about the black community at all. And I'll stand on that.
Man, see when people say that, I have a hard time going for that because you got to remember he is the one that paid for Jesse Jackson's campaign, and he was always known to be with the brothers. So I can't subscribe that he racist. I don't say the people around him might not be the best, but I can't think
Look
the
at
dude
his
who did all that is racist.
Look at his policies, dog. His policies are racist.
I'll be honest with you. This might anytime you remember when he told his chief of staff.
These dudes literally just erased the names of Medal of Honor winners, 2 of them which were black, and replaced them with Confederate traitors. And you gonna tell me he ain't racist? This man literally wrote an executive order removing black people and bringing back segregation back to federal jobs, meaning that black federal workers can't get federal contracts anymore. He's a racist. I don't care about Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson's from right here in South Carolina. Coon. I'll tell Jesse Jackson in his face he a coon. A buck dance. Keep hope alive. Keep buck dancing. Smile and show your teeth. Cause he a Sambo.
Oh, he said, I'm talking about Jesse Jackson.
Sambo. Tell the truth.
Coach,
shame the
this
devil.
brother
boy.
rough, coach. Here, this guy, man. He talking about Jesse, man.
Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
Man, that brother is giving you an insight that other people won't. You know, most of the time it's almost like hypocritical for a black man to talk about a black man who's not doing black people right. But why are you not calling out these situations? Because I'm a different looker. I'm on the side of those who on the side with me. You know me. Yeah. Just because you look like me don't mean you with me. And just because you look like the people across the aisle don't mean you against me.
Facts.
But when you see blatant against you, when it's blatant, then it's against you. You know, I told you, BVO, I think government checks is just another way of keeping you in chains.
Thank you. White supremacy and racism has never ended. They just rebranded it. And matter of fact, they give you context of what Coach just said. The Haitian Revolution was led by De Grease. De Grease was a phenomenal person. That man wanted to fight. He fought Napoleon Bonaparte till Haitian was liberated. But you want to know what happened to him? Well, the part of the story they don't tell you, that man was assassinated by people who looked just like him. They cut his body up and delivered his body up to different parts of the island. And a black woman went and assembled his body to give him a proper burial.
I mean, they did the same thing.
Jesse Jackson was the same one hating on Martin Luther King too. Same one. Same one hating on Barack Obama. It should have been me. It wasn't you. Anybody?
I don't know why he said to chop the man's balls off. That was crazy. I don't know why Jesse said that.
Bro, I'm with Coach. Anybody who's detrimental to the growth of my community, off. Goodbye. Get away from me. I want nothing to do with you. I'm not wasting my time on buck dancing Sambos. I ain't here trying to save you. I'm here trying to talk to the ones that are misinformed, who don't know their real power and potential. That's why I do politics. That's why I do what I do. That's why I stand on the square that I stand. And that's why I will forever be unapologetic about how I talk about things. People get offended all the time. It's easy to offend a whole bunch of sensitive, soft-ass people on the internet. They get sensitive about anything. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's a problem you got to deal with yourself. Because living in this black skin, they made us feel like we were prisoners of our black skin while simultaneously telling you they love Jesus. When I'm reminded of a parable in the Bible, I'm a preacher's son. There's a parable in the Bible that says, how can you love me who you haven't seen, but hate your brother who you can? How can you hate me for something God gave me in my skin? I didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for it. God gave it to me. He gave me this beautiful melanin coursing through my skin. He gave me this young ass face at the age of almost 50. He gave me the wherewithal to be as smart as I am, as fast as I am, as athletic I am, how brilliant I am, how good of a father I am, how good of a husband I am to my wife. We've been together almost 20 years. I've been married to her for 16 years. God gave me that. How can you hate me for something God blessed me with, but while simultaneously telling you that God was only for white people? When have God ever been about division? When did Jesus ever preach about division?
Never.
Never. So you mean to tell me God's a liar and a white supremacist is telling the truth? Y'all the same people who ate black people, cannibalized our bodies, fed us to alligators. The same ones who didn't want us to be educated because you were scared. So you're the same ones that had us killed if you found out we could read or write. That's why when Nat Turner staged his rebellion, he only told 4 people. 4. That's why he was so successful as he was, because he only told a minimum few. But you know what they did with Nat Turner when they finally got their hands on him? Trained his blood, skinned him, boiled him down to a serum because they thought they could get superpowers from Nat Turner's body. I'm reminded of Mary Turner, who was hung upside down while 8 months pregnant because her husband, Hayes Turner, decided to be loud and boisterous about an injustice that happened to him. They lynched her husband. And since she seen it, she said something about it. You know what they did to her? Hung her upside down, set her on fire, cut her baby from her womb, and curb stomped her baby. Then shot her 60 times. Black people's problem is we keep trying to have humane conversations with inhumane people. These people have never been humane. If they were, then why did they still consider us 3/5 of a human being? Ask Texas. Why do they got to rig elections? Why are they still holding on to the draconian electoral college? If they're so confident in their policies, if they're so confident in their intelligence, if they are the ones who built civilizations like they claim, why do you got to rig systems? Why do you got to interrupt democracies across seas? Why do you got to make enemies where there ain't any? Why do you got to uphold war? Because you're the problem. It ain't me. It ain't me being a confident black man that's a problem. It's you being an insecure, mediocre white man that's a problem. Always have been. You're scared. Racists are all scared. You know what? The age of social media has taught me one valuable thing. Back in the 60s, they didn't have social media. So they couldn't see racists for who they really are. We can. And you see all that loud talk, the N-word this, N-word that, nigga this, nigga that. They talk all this stuff about black folks. But the moment they see us, they are terrified. They're the only ones in this country talking about a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones in this country talking about violence when we're simply just trying to exist. We're the only ones trying to make justice for all. That's who we are. That's who we always have been. And that's who we'll continue to be. Because we're that good. And we're that great. And that's why I'm the way I am. Because I refuse to let anybody write my story for me. Because I know better. And I want to make sure everybody else knows better. And I want to make it a point that I educate as many of us as I can. Because that's what we need. That's what we need, bro. That's how we fix every question you ask me, BVO. That's how we fix us. We educate us. Like, look, get this book. Read it. I promise you, you will have a new look on how you view history in America. And I took American history in college. Didn't learn about none of this. I didn't know about Robert Smalls. Being a tactician on a boat, learned all of the Confederate captain's signals, stole his uniform, convinced them, conned them into going out in town getting drunk. While they was out there sleeping with hookers and getting drunk, he stole their ship, drove it up north, turned around and drove it right back down south to help infiltrate Fort Sumter down in Charleston. That man then went back down there to Charleston, ran for a Senate seat and won. That's some gangster shit. Not none of this shoot up your homeboy because he stepped on your shoes kind of shit. That ain't gangster to me at all. That's cowardice. You notice that we're never provocateurs of violence. We're always in response to it. Just like when the old buddy was talking about boy this and he want to do this and he want to do that. I didn't provoke him. I ain't threatened him. He threatened me. I only told him what would happen if he thought about trying me. I'm going to send you somewhere where you can't come back from. And if you think that's a game, this 556 begs to differ. Or that 9mm that's laying right beside me. It begs to differ, homie. I ain't fighting you. I'm too old to fight. I done fought enough. I ain't playing with you. I take your threat as a threat upon my life and my family's safety. And I'm going to send you where you need to belong. I'm going to do the world a favor. I'm going to send you to God so you can talk to him, so he can tell you how stupid you was being a racist. Send you on your way. Because these folks they think too brave. You notice that right now, BVO, racists are so brave now. Yeah. Oh, you niggers. Oh, you jigaboos, you this, y'all admit low IQ, y'all this, y'all. You notice they are all comfortable saying that. They see Trump doing it. Why do you think Trump tell every black woman that he sees they're low IQ? Kamala Harris, Jasmine Crockett, low IQ. And Ketanji Brown Jackson, that woman is the nerdiest of nerds. That woman is so smart. That woman's IQ revolves around the earth 24,000 times. That woman is a super uber nerd. Like that woman has degrees where I couldn't even dream of getting. This woman is so educated. It's just amazing how much she knows about law. I did research on her. That woman clerked for the Supreme Court. That woman is more qualified than anybody sitting in the Supreme Court now. Even the Chief Justice, John Roberts, she's more qualified than him. But you got these narrow-minded, mediocre white people on the internet saying this woman's a DEI hire when that woman's the smartest woman in the room. You didn't hear all those questions coming at Brett Kavanaugh when he was credibly accused of sexually assaulting Christine Blasey Ford. Didn't hear none of that. You heard them play defense. The White House even removed the phone number that they put in place for people to call in and give credence to what that woman said. It all of a sudden disappeared. See, it's always okay when they can read the game for mediocre white people. But when a black woman earns her way, oh, now she didn't earn it. Just like you, BVO, or me, or Coach, we earned something. They always got to think we cheated like they did because we're not them. Like Kendrick Lamar wrote, they're not like us. We're built different. I'm built different. I'm a whole different animal than these people. That's what, look, my confidence intimidates them. That's why Buddy got in his feelings. Because I am me. There ain't nobody that can change who I am. Only but the good Lord in heaven. That's it. And I thank God for the wisdom that he gave me, that I'm allowed to share it to everybody else. That's my gift to the world. And I'm proud to be a proud Black man sharing real truth about real Black history. And finding out more and more real Black history makes me even more proud to be cut from a lineage that come from Nat Turner, Robert Smalls, Fred Hampton, Bobby Seals, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, Fannie Lou Hamer, just to name a few. I am proud to be associated with those kings and queens. They make me proud every day to be a Black man.
Good brother, if half of them people you name who gave their life for the concept of social justice was alive today, and to see what they gave their life up for, man, they go back and live a happy, full life, man.
Right.
I mean, I understand what you're saying in relation to what another race has done to Black people, but I'm of the mentality also of nobody can do something to you unless you first do it to yourself.
There you go.
You make it okay to do it. When we listen to music, and I don't separate myself from a lot of stuff, I say I include myself.
Mm-hmm.
When we listen to stuff that denigrates Black women, and we make it okay to call her a B, if we make it okay for them to interact with each other and call themselves B,
right,
then why would anybody else look at you in higher esteem than how you look at yourself?
Facts.
That don't make sense.
Facts.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something. My father, everybody know my dad was a pimp. My father used to say, if she ain't used to eating nothing but hamburger, why in the hell you buying her steak?
Right.
And when we look around at us, it used to be the chase education, give yourself a better life. Now you got educated people. I'm looking at all these women who leaving professional jobs saying they make more money on OnlyFans.
Right.
You look at the young people now, regardless of their race. You look at them, they got tattoos on their face. They looking like comic books. These the grandparents of tomorrow? Shit. Man,
Right.
please.
Please. It's systemic though. Coaches, they systematically did this. And why do you think they paraded out Sexy Red as the spokesperson for Black women? Why do you think they did that? They did that for a reason. They did that because they want to see failure as success in the Black community. They don't want Black women like Ketanji Brown Jackson or Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama. That's why there's always attacks against those Black beautiful women. That's why. They don't want a smart Black woman. They don't want to hear about Fannie Lou Hamer, her sacrifice, or Rosa Parks. They don't want to hear about none of that. They want to hear about Sexy Red. They want to hear about these Suckianas and all these goofy women that's out here denigrating the name of Black women, not giving them anything of value to reach for. That's what they want. They don't want to know that the highest demographic of educated people in this country are Black women. They don't want to know in entrepreneurship, Black women lead there too. Why do you think they don't ever hear conversations whenever there's a school shooting and a white boy does it? Why do you think they don't ever generalize all white women and tell you there's a failure in the white community when it comes to raising their children? But anytime you see a Black boy fighting outside of a restaurant or in the street or somewhere, you see one of those fight videos on World Star, that's the first thing, the typical suspects, those Blacks out there fighting again. Why do you think that's so? Because they systemically want us to think that failure is the option, is the only option we have. The moment that Black people start listening to these goofies talking about this, talking about that, saying Black women is this, calling Black women bees and hoes and all this stuff, disrespecting and denigrating Black queens out there, and Black queens not giving them nothing to respect in return. No, because they can keep that going. They're happy. They're happy with dysfunction. Black unity was said by the leader of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, Black unity is the biggest threat to America. Why is it a threat? Because when Black people see their value, they'll do things like, I don't know, free themselves from slavery and captivity, like during the Civil War. That's what happens when you get Black unity. Black Wall Street is what you get when you get Black unity. Elaine, Arkansas, is what you get when you get Black unity. Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898 is what you get. That's what you get. And these people do not want to see Black people build communities. They'll do everything in their power, including bringing Black faces into our community just to cause disruption and chaos. That's the reason why I can tie in. Like, art imitates life. Like my brother 78 always says, art imitates life. You can look at what happens on YouTube with the LDBC, and you can contrast and compare with what's going on in the political scene in the world, in the United States. It's the same thing. They'll trot out there some Sambo smiling, shucking and jiving, craving a butter biscuit. They ain't doing nothing but spreading misinformation and lies about the LDBC, making their hate-filled videos or they stupid posts. They do it all the time. It's been like that for forever and a day. That's the whole message. That's the chemistry. That is the thing. That's the gag. As long as they can keep us not unified, hating on one another. Because I like building. I couldn't tell you how many channels I helped build. I can't think of one I destroyed.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. I say this, man. I definitely appreciate my brother Will coming through. This won't be the last time. Next time we're gonna get him talking about some boxing more. You know, I wanted to start off in his lane first. I didn't know he was that cold at it. You know, been exposing people that's been around forever. So shout out to Will.
But hey, my brother Drew always says this. Drew says, time reveals all truth. And he couldn't be more right. Time does reveal all truth. And a lie is only a long way to the truth. And on that note, hey, salute to you, BVO, for having me on, man.
Appreciate you. You know, when you see me, you're going to see my man, Coach Hackett, man. We definitely Team Hackett over here. Shout out to Jaleel on a big win. I'm trying to get him to go to middleweight. I think Coach is holding us back. But we'll see soon, man. And we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Salute.